Can I just say one note about the whole situation about Trump and Vance and the future? To be very clear, Donald Trump had an opportunity to say who he thought his successor was, if he thought it was going to be J.D. Vance. He very quickly said no. There was no hesitation. A couple days ago, you've got Steve Bannon saying, you know, I think this is when a leader like this comes along, once in a generation, he needs a third term, on Newsmax. And when asked about that, Steve Bannon said, oh, well, we're working on a third term. I think that people should take very seriously what Donald Trump and his allies are in fact saying. This is not if history has taught us anything, if the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks has taught us anything, is that they really do mean what they have been saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, if they all are saying it, and again, if Donald Trump immediately says, oh, no, J.D. Vance is not my successor, it could be because he doesn't think he's going to have a successor. And if they say it, pay attention to it, because they're probably planning it. It's just like, you know, Project 2025. What did we hear all along? Oh, no, I don't even know what Project 2025 is. Now they're literally running their government based on Project 2025. But at least I want to talk about the populism that that we saw with Bernie Sanders. And you were saying it's so funny. You were saying while you were watching it, what Simone said, which is, you know, people trust him because, you know, this is what he's been saying. I mean,
for decades.
For decades. And we just heard Steve Bannon's name mentioned there. What's so incredible is that there's a lot that you hear from the left in populism that you hear from the Steve Bannon wing on economic populism about, you know, tax cuts for the rich not being the right thing and actually breaking up monopolies being the right thing to do. It's very interesting. I say that to say that is a message that actually moves across party lines and would be very effective for Democrats if they were able to focus it on economics.
And I remember in 2015, what was similar was you had a camp of Republicans who were totally disillusioned with the bailouts and Republican foreign policy, much like the left. And so when the two poles meet, that's something to take note of. And I guess I would ask David, what do you think this means that J.D. got made finance chair of the Republican Party? Is the party gunning for him more than Donald Trump actually is?
Well, I think the way to understand this is that it puts him in front of every donor. It integrates him with the Republican National Committee, which is going to, of course, run the 2028 primary. And so, you know, the Republicans that I've talked to tell me that some of them are speculating that there won't be a primary and that it'll basically be JD's to have. This arrangement with a sitting vice president as finance chair has never happened before. And to them, because this is something that the RNC came up with, according to my sources, brought to Trump's political team, and then the president signed off on it personally, and there's no other way it would have happened in any event, they see this as a sort of very strong signal that Trump will, in fact, end up endorsing his number two. He's just going to, you know, let some time lapse and let the vice president sort of earn it on his own before he gets there. And I think that's the best way to understand what this role is for J.D. Vance, who won't necessarily function like a normal finance chair in terms of traveling the country and hitting the phones per se. A lot of staff will handle that. He still has a day job, but it's the symbolism of what it means.
Simone Sanders Townsend, thank you very much. And senior writer for The Dispatch, David Drucker, thank you as well. His new pieces are available to read online now.
And Simone, final thoughts.
My final thought is I used to work for a vice president. And let me just tell you, if Joe Biden had made Kamala Harris the finance chair of the DNC, the stories would be he does not want her anywhere near the Oval Office, and he does not have confidence in her ability to work as a governing partner on this agenda. So I understand what the sources at the RNC are saying. I just know how it works, and I'm skeptical.
All right. Thank you, Simone.
Well,
we'll look forward to watching this and come